Welcome to the Mizell Show.
An inspiration for a new generation.
Hi, I'm Alana Mizell, a loving mother of two, a devoted wife to Stephen, and an entrepreneur helping women realize their dreams and potential.
And I'm Stephen Mizell, caring father of two, a devoted husband to Alana, and a driving force to help young men prepare for life after college football.
And if that wasn't enough, we're a biracial couple.
She was raised in the North, but I was raised in the South.
The only thing normal about our lives, who am I kidding? It's never normal around here. Join us for the Mizell Show.
Right now. We are back on the Mizell Show. I love saying this intro. We back on the Mizell Show. We back. No. It is fully
I think
summer.
everybody just turned it off.
Nope, sure did not. They like that.
Okay.
So clearly Alana's going to be a hater of this episode. So tune in, guys. But it is fully fledged summer in the Mizell house. And,
in Memphis.
Well, Memphis in general. But
it's the center of the earth.
It was 99 degrees outside, a heat index of 108.
Said no one ever. That's disgusting.
It's disgusting.
And for people that live in Arizona, that they're like, oh, it gets to 120. Yeah, you don't have the humidity we have, so.
But people kill me off and say, it's a dry heat. It's still hot.
I mean, it's still hot, but at the same time,
the
it's a different feel.
Of the stickiness. Yes, I do agree.
Nasty.
I do agree.
Beverage of the week is just water with a little bit of True Lime Orange. I'm just going to put that out there.
We're not sponsored by True Lime or True.
We could be. If
we
you
could
want
be.
to just do info at the Mizell Show, feel free to send that our way.
True Orange, True Lime. Alana loves a good True Lime in a Diet Coke at the appropriate time of the day. Because believe it or not, this chick is quite caffeine sensitive after 4 o'clock.
Oh, I'll be wide awake.
Wide awake at night.
Yeah.
So,
but in the morning, pound it back.
Pound it back. So, breaking news to everybody. Alana's only finished one book in the last 4 weeks.
No.
I guess
Not true.
You did 2.
2.
So Alana,
by the same author.
Alana met her nemesis, and no qualm to this author. Like it is what it is.
There are so many people that love her, and
love her.
And
Alana thought she would try her, and it just was.
Y'all, there was one book. It took me 10 months to finish.
And Stephen just picked it up like, oh, this cover is great. She will love it. And
so what had happened was,
yeah,
I had gotten one of her books really cheap. I think at like Goodwill or something.
Yeah. And
she's a beach read kind of author. She has so many books. Like I don't even know how many she has.
Yeah.
She's releasing her very last one ever.
Oh, so she's retiring.
She's retiring. But like she's a deal.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say her name because people love her.
I mean, her name is, we'll keep her anonymous. Okay, we'll do that.
They're going to figure it out. But one of them, it literally took me 10 months.
10 months.
So, something just fell off the wall. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I just scared the bejeebas out of me.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead.
No, so, just jumped so high. Almost peed my pants. Anyway, so I had bought it at a Goodwill. I started reading it. So Steven saw the author and was like, oh, let me buy her another one. No, don't buy it.
Nope.
But
you went and got it from the library.
Right. So then I was going through, I've read one other book of hers.
Yeah.
And I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I rated it 4 out of 5 stars.
You did? Yep.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
So then I read another book of hers. And it took me forever.
And Alana is an advocate of Goodreads, and she has some anonymous besties on Goodreads that she follows, and they kind of say this, and all her people said it was a good book, so she was like, this should be pretty good for me, and it just didn't hit.
I mean, the overall rating is a 3.79, which is, oh no, that's my rating. I rated it 3 stars. I brought that baby down. I'm so sorry.
She was Alana.
I didn't mean to. I'm so sorry. And then the other one's overall rating is over 4 stars. And the people that I followed that have read it.
Your people. Yep.
Rated it 4 and 5 stars. So I was like, this is going to be great.
Great.
Ugh. No. Not it. Not it. So I tried to give her a different option.
Yeah, you did.
Went for it again. Nope. Noopity
But the key is she finished both of them now.
Had to.
Just I want to accomplish this. I'm not going to let this book get the best of me kind of feel.
Right.
So she checked the box. So what are you reading currently? What's the next book up?
What? Okay. So at work, I actually have started a book club by request from some other people. And we are going to read a Brene Brown book, and I cannot remember the title off the top of my head. And then I am also currently reading The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna, and it is very good if I could actually sit down and focus.
But so far, so good.
Yeah. And I think the other thing for people that are readers, I think it's also important to remember that you can get in a reading rut. Like where you have hammered back so many books. Like I've read 21 books this year.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of book.
Yeah.
And that my goal for the entire year is 25. So I'm going to meet that. But at the same time, they're just like everything else. Like there are seasons in your life where you're like, I just don't want to do that right now.
Don't want to do it.
It's not fulfilling me. And that's okay.
But I also feel like sometimes those ruts, in a lot of different ways of life, kind of happen after you get a kind of a sour taste in your mouth.
Yes. So then you've got to find a book to pull you back out.
There you go. Yep.
And there are very few authors that can do that for me.
Ooh. Yeah.
So Brené's one of them that typically gets me like into my self-help kind of like spin. Sorry, I got distracted.
Yeah.
Shocker. But so I'm really excited about her for work because it's like a women's group that's specifically focusing on personal and professional development. So I think that'll be really great. And then The Great Alone is I read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, but all of her books are heavy reads. Yeah. And I already know it's going to be heavy. I think I'm like 40 pages in, and I'm like, woo, it's going to be good.
What are you listening to?
Nothing.
Nothing?
What do you mean? Music-wise?
Music-wise, yeah.
Oh, we've been on a hit
So we've
recently.
been on some fun country, like
Shambuzi,
just like kind of a fun hip-hop kind of pop country, you know, even Post Malone's now there.
Posty.
Briggs loves some Posty, and he was so thrown off by him playing country.
Yeah.
Briggs' favorite song right now, though,
is Luke Combs' new song, Ain't No Love in Oklahoma.
Ain't No Love for Twister.
But also, I really like Rain in the Rearview by Ann Wilson.
You've played that before. That's a good one. Yeah.
Dirt Cheap by Cody Johnson's a great one. Bigger Homes by Dan and Shay.
Bigger Homes, Dan and Shay is a good one too.
We're on a country kick. Another one that I actually heard on AGT is called Born to Love by Ashes and Arrows, and it's really good.
And not on that one.
You know?
Nope.
I haven't played it for you yet.
And last, but I'm listening to now, really have mixed feelings about this because of the voice, but you know, everybody has their own business. But Chance the Rapper's new song is really good.
Oh, I have that saved
on there. I write that song too. You know, I know he's going through a divorce right now. Don't know the details. But it's kind of weird because watching The Voice, Alana and Adele love The Voice. Beginning of the season, he's rocking a band. Mm-hmm. He's all about it. Then like mid-season, he stopped wearing it. So we noticed it.
And then later, like a couple weeks later, you see an article about how he's getting a divorce.
Divorce, yes. So it's just very, very interesting. But listen to Lil Chance. And then lastly,
But that song is so good because it talks a lot about the Black community and how sticking together is really what is needed right now in your village and your community.
It's a really good song. Kind of Black community summer song. Like if you listen to it, a lot of people, not just Black people, think about their summers and like the things they used to do, like in the neighborhoods. And so it's very interesting. And then lastly, we are watching Bridgerton. That's our jam.
We're trying to take it as slow as possible.
As slow as possible.
Because when it's done, it's done. Word on the street, a new one's not going to come out for 2 years.
2 years.
And I have read all of the books. If you don't listen to this podcast very much, I love Bridgerton. I love Julia Quinn. I read all the books, all the prequels, all the sequels, all of them.
She loves it.
I've read every single one, y'all.
And so we're watching Bridgerton. Our kind of mindless watch is Drain the Ocean on the History Channel.
I can't remember if we talked about that or not.
It's a good one. We've watched. And then last but not least, Alana watches shows sometimes and doesn't realize like they're ending. Like she's the most in the know, but sometimes out of the know person. I love her to death, but like she didn't know Station 19 was ending until she watched the last episode.
I had no idea. Steven goes, that was the last one. I was like, yeah, for the season. He goes, no, forever. And I was like, excuse me?
Yes.
I would have watched that slower. Like, you know, like when you eat something that you've been waiting for, you just like eat it really slow and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You just kind of watched it. And you kind of
and even I'm a Grey's Anatomy stan. I've watched every episode.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize that was the end of the season. Like I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm oblivious to what's going on, and that happened with me on the show Million Little Things.
Little Things. Yep.
I'm I was like, what is this?
Another good one.
It's fantastic, but why did it end?
What?
I know that everybody's got a time, but
Yeah. The ick.
I just want it back.
Yes. No, I totally get that. And so we just celebrated Father's Day,
Yeah.
which was really good.
Was it? It was eventful.
It was eventful. It was a Father's Day, like it's like
It was one that you will never forget.
never forget. Should we tell a story?
Yeah.
So we first of all go to one restaurant and they have.
Wait, it started on Friday.
I thought you want to go just straight to the event.
I mean, you can. We made Stephen a cake.
Yes, Alana's a caker now.
A caker.
She makes cakes. Doesn't like to eat cakes.
But I'll make them.
Reminds herself after she eats it, like, this is why I don't eat them anymore.
Like, I love to make them, but I don't want to eat them personally.
No. So she made a Danish cheesecake kind of vibe.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese.
Cream cheese Danish cake.
And it was phenomenal. We did that on Friday. Saturday, we went to the zoo as a family in the 110-degree heat with
to the water park.
To the water park with some friends. And then Sunday, my mom reached out to Alana and was like, hey, let's go to a brunch. And we're like, okay, cool. We usually do the brunches the day before because the day of is very hectic.
A zoo. Yeah.
And so we got a restaurant reservation at one space. Unfortunately, they had labor shortages in their kitchen, so they were delayed. So we went to another restaurant.
It's like, you can't be mad at them.
Can't be mad at them, no.
Yeah.
As y'all know on the podcast, Briggs is a big boy. Loves to eat, but also loves to run, play hard. Like Briggs is a
boy.
Big boy. I think he's pushing a 17 now, and he's 5.
No, he wears a 7'8", and
7,
he's
8,
5 years
7
old.
5.
Yeah.
Yes, but so he gets and sits down. He's like, "I'm not going to eat." We're like, "What do you mean you're not going to eat? Like, this is one of your restaurants. You love the chicken tenders and fries." He's like, "I'm not going to eat." Like, okay, let's get you kind of a ginger ale lemon lime thing.
Well,
right?
he's been running 90 to nothing this whole weekend.
Yep.
He's not napping. They're home for the summer while we work. He's not napping. He typically napped Monday through Friday at school. So he's like adjusting to getting ready for kindergarten.
Yep.
And it's not going great.
And so
it looked like he was going to fall asleep at the table.
And so he says, "I'm not going to eat." He says, "Mommy can't lay." And he lays his head on Alana for a little bit. Then he says, "Daddy can't go to the bathroom." So take her to the bathroom. He poops, does his thing. I'm like, okay. And in a minute, he's like, "I'm better." So he then's like, "All right, I'm going to eat some nuggets." Eats a bite of a nugget.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I don't feel good." We're like, okay. He's like, "Have a mint." He's like, "Oh, we'll get you a mint." He literally then gets up, turns around, and just throws up in the restaurant.
In the middle of the restaurant floor, y'all.
And I was talking to a work colleague today about this. The fact of and he threw up in front of a couple. And couples that they don't have kids and probably never have kids.
No.
They were not a family-friendly couple.
He was not snipped, he was going after that.
Exactly. The couple was just like they just didn't seem like they were kids.
The poor girl goes,
yes.
Like she's about to throw up. They're eating their lunch.
They're eating their
whatever.
lunch. And Alana then squeezes in between them
in the vomit that is on the floor.
And then goes into the bathroom and then proceeds
Stephen immediately takes him to the bathroom.
Yes.
So Stephen was like, "I'm on it." So
yes.
Takes him to the bathroom. I can't take him into the men's room.
Yeah.
Granny, thank goodness Stephen's parents were with us and my dad was with us. Granny instantly grabs napkins to cover it up. Adele goes on the other side of the vomit to make sure nobody else can see it. And I was just...
And then Briggs proceeds to projectile in the bathroom everywhere. And when he finishes, that's like those movies where Fireball comes out of my mouth. And I'm like, Briggs.
And then he comes out of the bathroom and tells everybody.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
And so then I stay in the bathroom and clean up as best as possible. Because we don't want to tell the wait staff, "Oh, by the way, my kid threw up. I'm going to leave it for you." So we clean up in the bathroom, and it was eventful.
Well, and they were so sweet about the floor. We tried to wipe it up, and they were like, no, we got it with the mop. And I'm like, you got this?
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was at a Mediterranean place where they served baba ganoush, and unfortunately, the meal that the woman was eating
looked like Briggs' throw up.
Looked almost identical to Briggs' throw up.
Yes.
And she may never come back.
Never come back.
I hope they didn't have to comp people's meals.
But luckily, the crowd was dying out. But he literally threw up in front of that couple. And again, if it was a couple, if me and Alana were sitting there on a date and a kid threw up, we would have helped because we have kids.
Right.
But this couple was
they saw kids when they came in. They were like, "I want to leave."
Yes.
They were not having it.
Not having it.
It was bad news bears.
And so we say all this because, Father's Day is a great time to celebrate fathers. But another thing that fathers have to do a really good job of, I think, of not only raising your children, but as a father, you have to be a husband, correct? And as a husband, I guess you don't have to be. I mean, you should be a husband if you're a father, but it kind of goes hand in hand. But as a...
Right. So as a male partner to a female is what Stephen is trying to get at.
Let's go to that one, yes.
One thing that has kind of if you have not heard about my health journey, which is ever going, I feel like we got to do another episode.
We should do one now that we've
the stat. It'd be 7 hours long. It's fine. One of the biggest things that I've learned.
Sorry, we can laugh about this, but it's not a laughing matter. But we can laugh.
We have to laugh, or we're going to start crying. It's one or the other on this situation.
Yeah, one or the other.
So, one of the things that I have learned so much about myself that they do not teach in school is whether it be male or female health class,
exactly.
And everybody should know. It should just be like in health class.
Yes.
Is the cycles, the phases of each woman's cycle.
Yes.
And how hormones are correlated to that cycle. So, men, I know all of you want to turn it off, but I need for you to turn up the volume.
You definitely should turn the volume and listen.
In.
Because it's something that...
I'm not saying that you need to read about it or anything like that. You could if you wanted to. But it can drastically affect your relationship, what you choose to do with your partner, what dates you plan, what you expect from your partner, the ways that you can actually leverage her cycle to be able to do more fun things at certain times. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Just an idea.
Yes.
Just an idea. And if I'm a guy and I'm thinking about proposing to my girl, if I
to
don't know what phase she's in, you better figure that out.
You should really figure that out.
I'm going to go ahead and say it needs to be in the ovulatory phase. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's back up. The women's cycle has 4 different components.
No, let's start first.
Okay.
With the basics of men. Men reset every day.
Yes, so men's hormones reset on a 24-hour cycle.
Yeah.
So you go to bed, you wake up, it's started over. So your testosterone peaks and falls at specific times within the day.
Yep.
Testosterone, estrogen, you have both. Most men have significantly more testosterone than estrogen.
Yeah.
Most people kind of know that.
Yeah.
As a general guideline. If you don't, I'm so sorry, but there you go. There's the information.
But for a woman, it's a 4-week cycle.
On a 28
to
35 day cycle.
days. Okay, got it. Okay.
You said 32 because I'm on 32 days.
See? Hey, guys.
Stephen S.
There we go.
All of that is different depending on the woman and assuming that she is regular. So we're going to pretend that whoever we're talking about, this woman's cycle is regular.
Yep.
The reason it is 28 days is because many a times it actually coincides, if they're not on birth control, with the moon cycle. Healing and wellness and motivation is huge for the Mizell Show. And recently we had New Day Healing and Wellness on the podcast. We are super, super excited to be able to offer you guys a discount code under the name Mizell. If you hop into New Day Healing and Wellness, you can go to Red Light, you can go to the sauna, you can do the salt booth. They have so many different things to offer, and we're just so excited for you guys to be able to experience some wellness of your own. Isn't that fun?
Talked about that?
Fun little fact.
Yes.
So, you can also look at a chart for the moon and figure out when women are about to ovulate and all that thing. But irrelevant. So, if your partner is on some sort of contraception, this is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Because most contraception is a synthetic form of estrogen that's being put into the body. Okay? So think about that. You can talk to your partner about that. That's another great topic. A great resource for men to kind of dig into those kinds of things. What does it actually mean for my spouse or my partner to take a contraceptive pill? What are the ramifications? What are the pros and cons? Talk to your doctor. I'm not a doctor. Steven's not a doctor.
You're not a doctor.
This is just information.
Yep.
Okay. So a woman has a menstrual cycle. That's when the bleed happens.
Yep.
After that, they go into the follicular phase.
Yep. Okay.
Then from the follicular, they go into the ovulatory phase.
Yep.
The ovulatory phase is typically 3 to 7 days, and it's when the egg is actually about to drop. That's when you can get pregnant.
Yes.
It's only in the ovulatory phase. So when people are like, I accidentally got pregnant. Yes, you may have. But if you know your cycle,
you would know what was going on.
Then you would not accidentally get pregnant.
But
Speaking
if you
from
know your
somebody,
cycle, then
speaking
yes.
from somebody who had an off cycle and accidentally got pregnant. So fun fact. And then you have your luteal phase. And then luteal goes back into menstrual.
Okay. So from a male perspective,
Yes.
we hear the menstrual phase and we have all of these ick words that come with it. Like
what?
She's a raging, you feel the adjective. We can't.
She's not very nice.
She's not very nice. We can't snuggle during that time.
Is that just snuggle?
No, well, I'm using snuggle as another word.
Okay. 3-letter word.
Three-letter word.
Begins with S, ends with X.
We have to maybe stay away from that time period. Like, not just stay away as in SEX, but also like I'm gonna give her space, warning. But I think when you break those phases down, can you put those phases into another adjective to help guys?
Yeah,
be
absolutely.
Like, yeah.
So when you're looking at it, let's start with the follicular phase.
Yes.
So the follicular phase. Why is that so tongue twisting?
I'm not going to say it. Go for it.
It's kind of like that's the second phase in the cycle. So I'm going to skip menstrual. I'm going to do that at the end. So that's when a female is starting to get her strength back. Mm-hmm. So if you're looking at it in terms of workouts, that's when a more brisk pace walk can happen. Light weights can kind of go on. Maybe a low intensity cycle class is great.
Yeah.
Pilates and yoga, always good for every phase of the cycle. So I think for men, it's helpful to hear the different kinds of workouts that women can do because that's an easy association.
That's true. I can see that.
Our hormones are starting to come back. They're starting to regulate. Okay, so that's follicular. That's a great time to plan. So in that phase, a lot of times women might fixate on planning or organizing or things like that.
Mm-hmm. I can see
then
that.
You go into the ovulatory phase. For women, that would be the best time for you to ask for a promotion, do job interviews, have more outwardly facing interactions. That's when women can typically lift the heaviest.
Okay.
Can do the high intensity interval training, can do the climbing of the mountains.
So you feel like that phase, they will be more prone to come out of their shell,
right?
To do different. Yeah.
So think of it from a hormonal perspective.
Yeah.
That's when your estrogen peaks because your egg is dropping. That's when you are putting on, like, you're releasing the most pheromones. You're dazzling. You're feeling great. Body's looking good. Like, you are ready.
Got it.
It has been designed for us to feel like we should be making a baby. So our ish don't stank come ovulatory phase.
So that's when we take the all-inclusive trips.
That's when you take the all-inclusive trips. That's when you go meet the parents.
Yes.
Like, that's when everybody's fun. That's when we do big parties.
Okay.
That's when we propose.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That's when she's going to feel her best, look her best. Legitimately, you are releasing hormones so that your skin, body, hair look better. You smell better to the opposite sex.
Yeah.
Like in ovulatory phase. Okay. Yeah. We all with it. All the guys said, got it. Check. That's like the big, if you are planning, like if I'm a female and I'm managing an all-female team, I know the cycles of my team, so then I can better increase productivity.
Yeah.
That's the other things to think about, okay? Yeah. Again, I'm not a doctor, tons of research.
And all this stuff is readily available to everybody. Readily available.
We'll say books at the end. Then you hit the luteal phase. So we're at our peak. Now we're starting to come down, okay? It's a little bit less intense. When you come towards the end of that luteal phase, before the menstrual cycle is about to happen, that is when you're going to get PMS. That's when you're going to get cranky sister. That's when you're going to get, I don't want to do anything. I hate everybody. Nobody talk to me. I need to be alone.
Yes.
Okay. That's when your hormones are crashing.
Yes.
They've gone up to the peak in the ovulatory. Now they're coming back down.
And that's something for all guys, I think, to also remember the fact of, like, this is a monthly cycle. And this is something that it's okay, because I learned this, not the hard way, I've learned this over the years. Like, it's okay when this phase is happening if you cancel the plans.
No, you got to.
I'm saying you cancel the plans. She loves her kids, but it's okay for you to take the kids somewhere for half the day, hypothetically, and give her that time. And it means nothing about her love for the kids, love for all the things, but like just realizing in order to get the best of both of you guys, you have to respect it and understand it. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I, at the age of 39, just still learning every day. But yeah.
The physical ability for a woman to balance her hormones to be nice during the end of her luteal phase takes more energy. So therefore she will be more exhausted.
Yeah.
It's just like, that is just fact. Mm-hmm. So that's why we end up being a little bit grouchier more. Okay. Mm-hmm. Our estrogen has plummeted.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you hit the menstrual phase. Typically once a woman hits the menstrual phase, yes, the first couple of days she might be crampy, but most of the time there's an anxiety release.
Yeah,
by the
built
time
up
she
so
hits
much.
it.
Yeah, okay.
So the cranky girl isn't when she's got her cycle most of the time.
Yeah.
Other than being annoyed that she bleeds every single month. It is typically right before it's about to start. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's when we bring a little flowers. We bring a little chocolate. What are her favorite things? We're going to, like, a couple weeks ago, Stephen brought home a nice little Diet Coke with a little True Lime packet.
Yep.
Didn't ask for it. He just brought it. He knew I needed it. He made sure that I didn't see human beings outside of my 4 people because I can't stand you right now. Not that I don't love you, but I don't. Yeah. I don't right now.
Yeah.
I don't love myself. I even get irritated with myself towards the end of the luteal phase. The reason that these are so important is as a spouse, like Stephen mentioned, not only that, you can even look up some foods to add into each week, just 1 or 2 foods. There's teas that can help balance out and just help to balance the iron need. You know, the week before a cycle and during a cycle, you're going to want to increase your iron. So beef, if you eat it, kale has a lot of iron.
Beef liver too.
Beef liver, you can drink it during your cycle. Magnesium glycolinate during your cycle, increasing the amount is a great idea. You know, check with your doctor, of course. Even spinach has a ton of iron in it. So those kinds of things kind of be cognizant of when you're about to bleed, you are losing iron.
Yeah.
And so that's also why when you finally hit the menstrual phase and towards the end of your luteal phase, you really should be hanging tight on the workouts because your body is working so hard.
Yeah, I can see that.
As a female.
Yeah.
So that's something also to think about. Don't plan a rigorous date night that week. Plan a go to the movie where she doesn't have to talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You're just sitting there, you're watching the movie. Yeah. Fantastic. We're recharged. We're not moving this bod. How lovely.
Yeah.
Get the heating pad ready. Maybe she needs that. It just really can change the dynamic. Also, women, if you can start to plan out your work life requirements around your cycle, you will be so much more productive. That's something that I'm working on now that I know what I need to do every single month for my job, is making sure that those that take a lot more focus, I do in my follicular phase, and do more of my training outward external focus, I do during my ovulatory phase. And then in luteal and menstrual, I'm doing mundane tasks that I need to get done but don't care to do and don't take a lot of brain power because I don't have much left.
Yeah, I think also you look at it from a standpoint from a male perspective. We have been taught in a healthy way or non-healthy way about what you guys go through. It's like, oh, you can't do this. It's the ick. All these things that just kind of downgrade what you're actually going through and not stepping into actually listening and feeling what you're feeling. Yeah. And I think some guys will care. Some guys will continue to do that. Push away. I don't want to hear about it. You just tell me you're better. That's everybody's feelings. But I also feel if you want to maximize your marriage and maximize that relationship, you will take heed to this because you will be able to really work towards things and to be able to be together. So if you want that brand new set of golf clubs, hey, that ovulatory week is a great week where she might be feeling a little bit good and she might be happy and just say, hey, go buy it. Don't ask her.
Don't ask the luteal phase.
Don't ask the luteal phase.
Because the answer is going to be like, get me the golf club.
One club.
I'll show you how to hit the ball.
I'll show you how to swing a club. Yeah. But no, so.
But also on top of that, there's a great book. It's called In the Flow. You can listen to it or you can read it. It's really a great book. I think both genders need to listen to it and read it. They're also, depending on the phase that she's in, there are times that she needs more release than others.
Yeah.
If everybody knows what I'm talking about, I'm just going to leave that.
Leave it there.
Leave that tea little drop nugget.
Yeah.
So that's kind of important to know.
Yeah.
And you can leverage it.
Yes, you can.
To get your way.
Yep.
If you're smart about it.
Like I said, you have to be in tune. And it's something that again, over the last probably year and a half, like I kind of had an understanding, but I didn't really have an understanding. And now as I feel and see more of it and Alana communicates more, I'm actually able to know and plan out and see and feel how we can, navigate those times for the best of all of us. And it's something that, as a guy, we're hitting every 24 hours. For you, for ladies, it's every
28 to 35.
28, 35 days.
So also the one tool that we used to use before we were both used to this is I had a wall calendar that I just highlighted 4 different colors.
Yep.
And then I had a key that said which phase was which.
Yep.
So Stephen could look at it and be like, okay, I know what day it is. That's where we are. Or I know it's about to change. That's where we are. And it's not always, like, it's not Bible. It can adapt and flow. Like, it's not exactly the days. You'll notice that I said a date and range.
Yeah.
But it is so helpful. And it starts to associate reasons why some of us fixate at certain times, reasons why we're grouchier at certain times, reasons why we want to renovate the entire house at certain times, reasons why we can't take a nap during the ovulatory phase at all. We're going to go 90 to nothing for those days. And all of a sudden we've got a laundry list that by the time we get to the luteal phase, we don't want to do.
Yeah.
So it's just really great awareness.
I agree.
And that doesn't even go into the iceberg of when your hormones are off or if you're on contraceptives. But we just wanted to kind of share that. It's helped a lot in our marriage. It's helped a lot with our kids even. Understanding bandwidth of what I can handle, what Stephen can handle when he needs to help more, and vice versa. And it also allows us to just be more in tune with what's going on health-wise, especially since, naturally we're doing cycles and all that kind of stuff. Please reach out if you have questions. In the Flow is a fantastic resource. Another great follow is Gracie Norton. She talks a lot about cycle syncing. And Sophia Pinnell talks a lot about cycle syncing as well if you're trying to look for more resources, females. And there's also an In the Flow app that you can align your workouts to your cycle. So there's some resources for you guys. We'll link them in the show notes.
Well, just a little nugget for you guys today. Hopefully you would take heed to it. And the biggest thing we want to bring out of this is just have a conversation. Like, have a conversation with your partner, your wife, your significant other, and just ask them these questions if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, then don't do it. But we just wanted to help you guys. That's some nuggets. Thanks so much. Have a great one, guys.
Bye. So if you guys are enjoying this, definitely leave us a review. Give us the feedback. If there's something you guys want us to talk about, reach out to us on our website at themizelleshow.com. There is a contact section. You can put it in there. We would love to hear about it. Or you can always go over to Instagram at The Mizell Show. Also, as always, don't forget to screenshot this episode and just add it to your stories and tag us on Instagram, on Facebook at The Mizell Show. Thanks, guys. Are you loving The Mizell Show? Well, we love you all. And did you know that you can have me and Steven talk to your team or a group of 25 of your friends? All it takes is 25 people showing up on either a Zoom call, a Facebook Live, or really anywhere. Hopefully in person sooner rather than later. But how do you get us? So all you have to do is email themizellshow@gmail.com, or you can direct message us on Instagram at The Mizell Show.